Hello everyone, it's me Dr. Muhammad Shoaib, and in this lecture we will learn the basics of retrosynthesis or disconnection approach. Retrosynthesis or retrosynthetic analysis. It is the exact reverse of a synthetic reaction. It is a problem solving technique for the synthesis of complex molecules. In fact, it is an art of planning organic synthesis of complex molecule by transforming that structure, which is our desired structure, to the simpler, commercially available starting material or the easily prepared starting materials. So its definition is it's a logical approach for designing organic synthesis which involves breaking down of a target molecule into available starting material by imaginary breaking of bonds. Remember that the breaking of bond is imaginary. In actual practice, we never break a complex molecule into the simpler ones. In fact, in actual practice in the lab, we usually synthesize complex molecules by the use of simpler molecules, by the use of commercially available starting materials. So, how to synthesize a complex molecule, which is our target molecule, which is our desired molecule? That molecule, that our desired molecule is mentally broken down into the simpler ones. Here is an ester. We all know that ester is formed by the use of alcohol and an carboxylic acid or its acid chloride derivative. So it is disconnected. This bond is disconnected, which is shown by a wavy line. So one component is alcohol and the other is acid chloride. This simpler process is called as retrosynthetic analysis at the disconnection. And different terminologies used in the disconnection. What is disconnection? An imaginary bond breaking. And how the bond is breaking? Which corresponds to the reverse of a real reaction. Remember that this bond breaking should not be a complete imaginary, that it should have a real reaction if we want to synthesize that bond again. Retrosynthetic analysis, the process of imaginary breakdown of a molecule into progressively simpler starting material, that is starting with the product and going back to the reactants along a pathway that is reverse of a synthetic direction. Mean the target molecule is a starting molecule for retrosynthetic analysis. It is gradually broken down into the simpler one. FGI, functional group interconversion, the process of interconverting one functional group into another functional group during disconnection. It is necessary sometime, as there are some of the functional groups which cannot be directly attached, as given here. Here it is NH2. We don't disconnect it at the start, but by using FGI it is converted into nitro group. and we all know that it is easy to insert or add a nitro group on aromatic compounds as compared to the NH2 or amino group. So the first step is FGI. What is target molecule? Our desired molecule, which is to be synthesized, that is called as target molecule and is abbreviated as TM. It is disconnected to the starting material. Here it is amide. Here it is amide, and we know that amide is prepared from an amino and carboxylic acid or its acid chloride derivative. So when this bond is disconnected from here, nitrogen being highly electronegative, becomes a negatively charged, that is a nucleophile, and the carbon becomes an electrophile. So these two components are the fragments are called as synthones. And we know that these synthones are not available in the labs or the commercially available starting material. So instead of these synthone, their synthetic equivalents are used. For NH negative, amino containing group are used, and for carbonyl carbon having positive charge, it's acyl halide or acyl chloride is used for this purpose. Synthesis takes place by using para-aminophenol and an acid chloride, and here it is our target molecule. So in this connection or retrosynthesis, first is the analysis, that is our target molecule is disconnected, and by using same method or the similar method, that target molecule is again synthesized. Disconnection arrow. This is the disconnection arrow as shown here. It shows that this product is formed from these components. This is the reverse of a chemical reaction. The example is given below. Here is another example. It shows that the site of disconnection is shown with the wiggly line. Here it is the site of disconnection or the bond which is to be disconnected. Here it is amide. Amide is formed from acid chloride and amines. So this bond is disconnected and we get the proposed starting materials. What are synthones? As we have seen that these are the fragments. These are in fact idealized fragments, usually cations and anions. These are the resultant of our disconnection. Synthones, these are the fragments which have a polarity, which have associated polarity represented by positive or negative. In fact, these are not the reagent themselves, although they may occasionally turn out to be intermediate. Sometimes these are the intermediate in that reaction. And what is synthetic equivalent or chemical reagent? A real chemical compound or substance which is used in place of synthone, that is called as synthetic equivalent, that is chemical reagent. For example, here this target molecule is disconnected. We know that this is the anisole. When this is disconnected from here, aromatic part gets negative charge and carbonyl part gets positive charge. So these are the synthones. One is negatively charged and another is positively charged. But the synthetic equivalent are the chemical reagents used for this reaction are the anisole and acetyl chloride. What is donor and acceptor synthone? Donor synthone, as the name shows, that the nucleophilic species are known as donor synthone, which has the ability to donate electrons. Alkyl or aryl anions. Alkyl anion or aryl anion. Alkyl or aryl behave as anion when these are in organometallic compounds. Cyanide having negative charge, acetylide having negative charge, enolates having negative charge. And what are the acceptor synthones? Alkyl or aryl cations, which are electron deficient. These are the acceptor synthone. Acylamine, as we have seen previously, and carbonyl having positive charge, and oxocarboniamine. Here are the classification of synthones on the basis of their position. And the first carbon which is attached to the functional group is first carbon, or the carbonyl carbon is 1. It is always acceptor synthone. Usually it's positive charge, so it is A1, first carbon, and it is acceptor. The active methylene, it is D2, donor synthone. In the presence of a base, acetone, or the carbon adjacent to the carbonyl is able to donate its electron pair. Remember that it's in the presence of base, so it's D2, A3, acceptor synthone. When any nucleophile attacks here, so this is the first carbon, this is second one, and this is the third one. It is acceptor. And if a leaving group is attached, then again this third carbon is A3, acceptor synthone. Here the compound is dicarbonyl. The relationship is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 5 relationship. So it is disconnected from the bond between 2 and 3, so that the 2 is donor synthone and the 3 is acceptor synthone. Nextly, even number synthone are donor synthone and the odd number are the acceptor synthones. What is Umpolang? Umpolang or polarity inversion, it is a chemical modification of a functional group with the aim of reversal of polarity of that group. This modification allows secondary reaction of this functional group which are otherwise not possible. For example, we all know that this carbon is acceptor. It is acceptor synthone. Suppose we want to make it as a donor synthone. So this chemical modification is called as Umpolang. When it reacts with thiol in the presence of HCl, dithion is formed. Here is dithion in the presence of n-butyl lithium. This lithium hydrogen exchange takes place, and the lithium gets positive charge and this carbon gets negative charge. Now this carbon can behave as donor, which was acceptor in the start of the this reaction. So the conversion of this acceptor synthone into the donor synthone, it is called as Umpolang. The process can also be reversed, but usually the unplugging takes place when acceptor is converted into donor synthones. What is return? It is a characteristic structural unit or element here, as shown here. It is enone. It is a minimum substructure and it directs the application of transformation. So we know that this is alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, and alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds are formed by the aldol condensation, and so the return here is this enone. Usually we have to identify this return to undergo any transformation or disconnection. Here are some guidelines. First of all, recognize the functional group in the target molecule. What are the functional groups present in the target molecule? For example, here it is ether. And if there is some heteroatom, then this connection should be adjacent to the heteroatom so that the heteroatom can behave as a nucleophile and the other carbon behave as an electrophile. It is a natural polarity of both these species. In the heteroatom, usually nitrogen and oxygen, sulfur, these are naturally negative or donor synthone, and the carbon, it is naturally acceptor synthone. So it is the first strategy to disconnect adjacent or next to the heteroatom. Basically, it is the very first strategy before the start of any disconnection. That disconnection must correspond to a non-reliable reaction. Here it is ester. Ester is disconnected and it gives us and a phenolic or OH hydroxyl component and an halide. And next guideline is disconnection next to the aromatic ring should not be the priority. So this bond is not disconnected from here. In fact, it is disconnected from this one. And both of these synthetic equivalent are easy to prepare. Here are some other guidelines. Choose that route which avoid chemoselectivity problem, that is disconnect reactive groups first. Here are two ethers, one is this and second is this, and an amine functional group. There can be several possible disconnection, so the question is what to disconnect first. Here are four possible connections. Two disconnections are disconnecting adjacent to the oxygen or ether. One is A and other is B. But these both disconnection pose the problem of chemoselectivity, as it is hard to alkylate the phenol. Here it is in the case of A or B. Here we have to alkylate, we have to add this group on this phenolic component, or in the second case we have to add this alkyl group on this phenolic component. And between C and D, here this is C and the D, C appears to be a better choice because the next disconnection after D will have to be an alkylation of O. Here it is D. It seems to be pretty well, but the next disconnection is the same as that of A or B. Either we have to disconnect this O or this O. Then we have to alkylate the phenolic component. To avoid the chemoselectivity problems, introduce the reactive groups late in the synthesis. So as a C is a better choice, but the question is that again we have to disconnect this one, but this is feasible as we have to alkylate only the phenolic components, that is 1,4 that are present at 1,4 position. And in the case of A, we have to alkylate the O in the presence of NH group, which is more reactive. In this case B, we have to alkylate O, but here is no such problem of chemoselectivity imposed by the amino functional group. And that's all about some basics of retrosynthesis or disconnection approach. Thank you.